Okay, conclusion to the two previous videos about self and about education. Okay, bottom line. So by these two methods, first of shaming selfishness, when a person asserts himself, okay, when a person defends what God gave him, okay. In the baptism of the Holy Spirit, it monetizes into, turns into inability to defend the graces that God gives him, okay? Person is ashamed to take them and possess them because his heart actually takes them. So by shaming person not to be selfish, because the self is actually from God, and ego is from the enemy. It's a impulse of the disease, impulse of the infection, of the parasite, okay? It has no connection to God, but only to the enemy. So ego and self are different stuff. I am that I am, said the Lord. So by these two models, by shaming person to be ashamed of himself, of the will of himself, of desires of himself, of his self, of asserting his self, okay? And by education, by fooling a person, by deceiving a person, person doesn't get to God natural way, by just asserting itself, and this faith, this working by faith, pumps the blood of Christ, who has resurrected, who has died for every one of us, and this working by self would work as faith. All right, that's my belief, and I understand there can be difficulties in this interpretation. I understand, okay, about different children, okay. So the person cannot naturally kind of penetrate to God by walking by faith, by asserting himself, and he cannot look up to heaven to understand. But come on, I was lied to about that my desires of myself should be shamed. I was lied about it, okay, because because I see what God tells me. But education solves this quote unquote problem, and the person doesn't come to God by his mind, and he doesn't come to God by his instinct. That's how the lords, little l, of this world, who are under Satan, okay, have hid the fact of slavery right in front of our eyes, and that's how they hide God from us. That's how they hide our own life from us. That's how they hide, because they are greedy. They think that they need to share. If you come to the knowledge of the truth and connect to God and become a live person, not a Pinocchio, but a living being, okay, that they have to share, that they will have less, okay, they will have to take you into consideration, okay. So they created that system, okay. Now they accuse people that people are NPCs, but they made them NPCs, okay. And so by these two methods, they control the people, okay. There was something else I wanted to say, but just escaped my mind, the thought.